Hi friends, this is Caitlin. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing this really fun strawberry and ladybug themed card that I made for a Pink and Main hop a couple months ago. I got behind on editing, but I still wanted to share it with you because it's so cute for summer, but also as like an anytime card, honestly. I'm using the Bugs and Berries stamp set, and I'll have a full product list down in the description for you with everything else as well. I am on the Pink and Main design team, but I'm not required to make any of these videos. I just really love sharing their new releases and my cards with you. So for this one, we're going to be Copic coloring all of our images here. I stamped out the little berry basket, as well as this cluster of berries and flowers, an individual strawberry, and 2 individual leaves, I believe. And for the carton, I wanted to go with kind of that natural craft cardboard kind of look. So we're going in with some E40s. And I'm adding my shadows to the outer edges under that main lip of the berry basket, and then kind of from either edge of that little top section. I think that just gives it a really nice kind of rounded look and a nice depth to that top little layer. So I'm blending that out with my medium and light shade, and you can see I'm leaving a little tiny highlight all the way around those edges. I'm going to go back and fill that in with my lightest shade, but I really like the look of that little free edge there. I don't think that's the right term for that, but I also added some extra shading afterwards to that top edge again, that top section on either side, because that E31 washed it out a little bit. For my flowers, strawberry flowers around here either come in white or pink. I really wanted to stick with white, so I'm just adding a little bit of a warm gray and then E81 just to the center parts of the flowers or the petals, and I'm going to blend that out with an W00. Sorry guys. That lightest warm gray shade, and that way these still look mostly white, maybe a little bit of a cream to them, but I wanted them to look white, and I wanted yellow centers because my strawberry plants always have yellow centers on the flowers. For the reds that I'm using, I'm going to be going in with that darkest R39 shade on the bottom of every berry, and then any place where one overlaps another one. I also use those same shades as a solid fill-in at the bottom of the basket because I figured you would be seeing strawberries through those little gaps. And I'm going to use the same colors for my ladybug as well. So I'm doing a whole R30 blend here. So R39, 37, and 35 on repeat. And then I kind of go back and forth too with a little extra touch of the R39 here and there if I feel like I've lost some of that contrast. So don't be afraid to go back in, just like I did on the little carton, with your darkest shade at the end, just to make sure that you're keeping your shading where you want it. I wanted to share a little life update with you guys while I'm coloring here because those berries are going to be pretty repetitive. I have been kind of struggling to make all of the content and cards that I want to be making lately. If you've noticed, I haven't been posting as regularly. I'm trying to get back into the swing of it now. In the spring, I had a little bit of an issue losing my card mojo. I think I've mentioned that before. But also I was finally officially diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder. And it's been an interesting ride trying to balance out, pushing myself and staying motivated, but also like giving myself a break when I need it. I'm not great about finding that balance yet. So I hope to have even more exciting things coming this fall. If you aren't following me on Instagram, I would love you to check that out because I've been putting some polls in my stories over there, trying to get some feedback for some projects that I am working on, some new classes that I want to start and offer. But there's just so many things that I want to do and make, and I feel like I just can't do everything I want to do, and it's very frustrating. So just bear with me. We're probably going to start fall and Halloween cards a little early this year because they make me really happy. And so why not do the things that are making me happy, right? Jumping back into the card, I did use the same greens for all of the leaves of the strawberries and these bigger leaves here. The way that this image is drawn is very like stylized. There aren't any sketchy marks or, shading drawn in for us. So I am just using the lines that are here, the artist drawn lines, to guide my shading on those leaves, carrying my darkest color down through that main stem and then kind of the branches off of that, and leaving my highlight in the center of each of those sections. You could also shade this where all of your shading is kind of towards the stem on the end, and it just gets lighter as you get towards the point. One isn't right or wrong, but I really like how this kind of almost gives like a stained glass feel to these leaves, and I think it's really fun. So using those same colors again, just to finish out these last strawberries and my little ladybug. Then I'm going to use the coordinating dies and just lining those up and holding them in place with my washi tape. Pink and Main's dies always come pre-snipped, so you never have to worry about that. And the dies are pink, so if they get mixed in with other dies, you'll always know which ones are Pink and Main. And I went in with a white gel pen and I'm adding highlights to pretty much everything and some dots on the center of my flowers. I really wanted to kind of cute this up, so I thought that the extra highlights would help me with that. I'm going to be building this on a red background that has little white polka dots, and I'm adding that tone-on-tone embossed, dry embossed panel with the little daisies. I trimmed that down a good bit so that I would have a nice wide frame. And before I add that to my red, I'm gonna go in with a little tiny black frame of cardstock here. So when I'm doing these little teeny tiny frames, instead of trying to measure, I like to add my adhesive to the back of my panel, pop it onto the cardstock that I want to be the frame, lining up the left and the top so that it's the size that I want it to be. And then I just trim the bottom and the right to match. And so you can see how this, because it was the white center panel and then the white dots on the red, it felt like it was getting a little lost. So the little teeny tiny black frame all the way around really solidifies that border, and I think gives a really nice weight to it without taking away. And I think for something like this that has those dark ladybugs as well, it makes a lot of sense to have that black somewhere else on the card. So I'm going in with some foam tape on my strawberry basket and strawberry. I'm adding my leaves here directly to the paper with my tape runner. So just kind of combining, different layers, adding some foam, not adding some foam. I think it just gives some really nice dimension. And I liked the idea that this little cluster is kind of coming from the top, like maybe there's a flower pot up there we can't see, and then the basket is sitting down on the side. And I like that single strawberry added to the side of that basket as well. For my sentiment, I decided to change it up. I've never done this that I can remember. And I stamped my image and then cut it with a circle die. I can't think of a time I've used a circle die for a stencil, at least in a long time. But I really like how this turned out, and I think it goes really well with the circles on the flowers in the background, on that dry embossed background. So I added some confetti sequins and one of these little clay ladybugs from the Pink and Main embellishment pack that came out with this release as well. And I love the little hint of shine that it gives. This card just makes me so happy. I hope it inspires you to get crafty and coloring. I will see you guys back here soon, and until next time, happy crafting.